we will go deep into the realm of the unknown and question everything as we search for the truth. We will explore the possibility of countless phenomena within the ultra spectrum, and together we will learn that it is all connected. This podcast is brought to you by the Extraterrestrial Support Association, and it is a live stream broadcast. If you have a question, send me a super chat or become a YouTube member. This podcast is brought to you by the Extraterrestrial Support Association. Take a seat, relax, get ready, and welcome to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat. Today is Thursday, June 23rd, 2022, and I, Ryan Stacey, am your host this evening. I'm a licensed private investigator, a citizen journalist, and the Director of Investigations for the Extraterrestrial Support Association. I'm the former National Chief Investigator for MUFON Canada and the former International Field Investigator Trainer for MUFON in general. Welcome to the channel, and thank you for joining us this evening. To Super Chat, click the $ next to your name in the comment box below. Tonight's theme is Author of Living in Two Worlds, and it's an experiencer testimony. Our guest for Season 4, Episode 21 is Lisa Savoy. Lisa is a lifetime experiencer since the age of 3.5 to present time. She has encountered the Greys during childhood and called them the little people. She has also had contact with the Reptilians, the Men in Black, and a Nordic named Angie. As she grew older, her experiences became more intense and traumatic, but she managed to make it through. Lisa now lives in Windsor, Ontario, with her 2 boys and her beloved husband. She is grateful for the steadfast support of her husband and family. Lisa has compiled a true account of her lifelong experiences with extraterrestrial beings, Men in Black, and so much more. In her recently released book titled Living in Two Worlds, A True Account of Alien Encounters. And that's right here, which you can get on Amazon, and there's a link in the description as well. And Lisa is as the first person the last person I investigated with MUFON, and the first person I investigated with the Extraterrestrial Support Association. So it's always a pleasure to have Lisa on the show. So welcome back, Lisa. How are you doing? Put on your tinfoil hat. How are you doing this evening?
Good. Doing very well.
Good. It's good to see you.
Yes, it's been, a couple of years since the last time I've been on your show.
Well, this is Season 4, and I think you were you were definitely on Season 1, probably Season 2 or 3 throughout the years, I would imagine, so different stages. But yeah, it's been a while, and you've evolved. You're now an author.
Yes.
You know, and you're and you told me just before we started that this is your 5th interview since the book has been released. So congratulations, and thank you for sharing your story with other experiencers. So we're gonna start with the icebreaker from CC. So let me just play our little jingle here. All right, so CC has asked, if a human life expectancy was average 400 years, would this change how you live your life? If yes, what would be the most meaningful change? That's a good question.
400 years? Wow. I never thought of that. Like, is it just me or my whole family, or just me that lives that long?
Well, it's just the average, so that would include everybody.
It probably would change my life, because there's so many changes going on as time goes. Especially the future would be interesting. Would people be doing more deep space travel back then? Will there be no more war, no more fighting? Would it be more peaceful? And if I were 400 years old and they get involved in deep space travel, I probably want to get into that. I'd probably change that way. And my family, how it would change them, I'm not sure, really. Right now, my husband, he's into his hobbies and that. He's into that type of thing. He does love traveling, so that could be part of his thing in the future.
400 years to me seems like a lot of time. So like, I mean, there's pros and cons. So like, yeah, we don't have to rush. We can live our life because we don't have many years left. Like when you get to that 40, you're like, it's okay. I got 160 years left to go, or 260 years left, whatever the math is. That's wrong. 360. There it is. Final answer. You got all those years to go, and it's like, that would be so long. And then, but like, what time period were you born in? So like,
Yeah.
if you were 400 now, so like 400 years ago, like the 1600s, what would like when we're talking about ufology and all this other stuff, we'd be able to call bullshit because we're still alive, so like there's some advantages. But what happens? That's a long time. I don't know. I got ADD. Like I ain't got time to live 400 years. Like that's a long time. But anyways, that's a good question. Thank you, CC.
It is. I like that one. Never been asked that question before. I like questions like that.
I like that too. I'm enjoying these, and it helps. These icebreakers helps. Set the tone. Okay, so I normally ask every guest, why are you the way that you are? But I know why you are I don't know why, but I have invested conversations with you to understand why you may be the way that you are. Did you want to maybe elaborate, why you think these experiences are happening to you?
I was quite young. I was 3.5,
Mm-hmm.
and I just learned not that long ago. My mom is an experiencer as well.
Okay.
And I know it goes through family line, and that could be one reason why it's happening too. Like my mom, only one she's been talking to is me. Like I'm the only one in our family that knows that she's an experiencer, and she had some experiences herself. Even with helicopters, she's been having some truly, really strange experiences with them. Like fly kind of low. Like she lives in a 6 apartment. Like this, on there's 6 floors in the apartment she's in. She lives on number 5. And when you have this huge black unmarked helicopter flying your level, like she had her balcony door open, and they were basically right her face level, and her curtains are blowing back, and her hair was blowing back. It terrified her. And I was on the phone at that time, and I can hear this commotion. I didn't know what was going on. So she told me. It'd been going on for a while, and she's never told me. So I thought, what the heck?
So do you think that because your mom is an experiencer that's the reason why you're an experiencer?
More likely, because it does go through family. And my grandmother told me stories about how she would see a disc-shaped object once in a while. My grandmother.
So your grandmother had experiences as well?
Yeah. She didn't say much about it, but she would see a disc-shaped object in her area. Like sometimes to be out in the farm, she would see it at the farm.
Okay.
Like her parents on the farm.
So for those that may be listening to this for the first time, do you want to maybe explain, I guess, their experiences and then how that relates to your experiences? Maybe elaborate on that just as a refresher so we can get up to speed.
Okay, so how mine are similar to everybody else's?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. Let's make sure I understood what you meant by the question. You just want me to...
Yeah, just explain your experiences as they've happened. But I want to get into the new experiences that is in your book that we haven't really gotten into in previous episodes. So I just kind of wanted you to get us up to speed. Tell us about these experiences that you've been having.
Recent ones?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay. Well, not that long ago. It was early spring. I had this really interesting experience. I woke up early in the morning. I was wide awake. I was not asleep. I was wide awake. I didn't look to see the time it was though. I'm lying in bed, and I can feel like a vibration over my house, like a helicopter or something over my house. And it was cloudy. And I looked out the window. And I seen like this really bright bluish white light come from the clouds. It came right into the window and went right on me. And at the same time, I heard this really loud whining, humming sound in my head. It hurt. I couldn't move. And that's all I remember.
Okay.
I don't remember anything at all.
Now, did you do any regression for that one?
No.
No.
I have to talk to, I want to do regression for that.
Okay.
I have to talk to her. So I said, like, because I'd rather be down there, like it's in Toronto, and yeah, I have to go down there and
Okay. So what kind of experiences did you have prior to that? That wasn't the first one, right? That you've had multiple. Ones,
yeah.
Right?
No, the recent. Oh, there's quite a few. The Reptilians.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen them in my room. I have seen the Men in Black in my room. And there's a couple times they'll be in my room. They come from my closet. I would turn my back. I'll be wide awake. I don't even get a chance to take hold of my husband. As I try to move towards him, I can feel a hand going around my chest, my stomach, and a hand going in my mouth, and smelling something strange, and then that looked Debbie up. I had experiences like that.
I have your copy of your book here, and I just wanted to point out: is that one of the Reptilians there?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So you want to tell me about that? How is that a frequent guy, or how often does that individual come here?
That's the one when I was younger. That's when I was probably 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
We were moved from Cambridge into St. John, New Brunswick.
Okay.
And I would wake up, like my dad, my bedroom was just by the living room, just across from the living room. And the room was like more to the left side of my room there. And he would have the light on. He'd be sound asleep. I would wake up and I can see this huge shadow-like figure going from my right of my door, walk right by and go right to the left. And I would get up, go to the door, look for it. My dad's there sound asleep. Then he'll wake up and say, "What are you doing up this hour of night?" I just told him I couldn't sleep, but he didn't see it. And it's like only came when he was sleeping.
Right.
I've seen that multiple times. Like my two brothers, my oldest brother and my youngest brother at the time they were seeing this shadow as well. Because their bedroom was just down not too far from mine on the same side. And they would see this figure go down the hall. Like it'll be start from their right side of the door right to the left, like mine. My oldest brother was not afraid of it, but for some reason my youngest brother, he was terrified of it. And he didn't say much, but he told me he actually got a bit of a look at its face because one time it went by his door and it kind of glanced at him and he just felt horrified.
Did he ever explain to you what he saw? Did he see the same thing as you or something else?
He described it to me, and he has my book, so he can see it's the exact same thing, the same figure going down the hall.
Was he having experiences at the same time, or this figure was just visiting both of you different times?
Recently he'd been telling me he'd been having experiences. He had been having them. Yeah.
Why do you think that's happening? Why? What's different about him and you, or is it the same?
He hasn't really said much to me. Like he remembers the grays mostly. They're the ones he mostly remembers. Yeah, I think he's really familiar with the shadow, like I am, but he remembers the gray.
So the gray's right here, this guy here?
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to, do you have a picture of the shadows in here?
I do. I believe I do the side view.
Okay, let me see.
It's just before the other picture you're showing me. It's like a page or so before that picture is showing me. Like the one there is when he's standing in the doorway. And the other one's like the side view, and there's one down the hall.
Yeah, I do remember those.
Yeah, it's in there. It's not too far from. It's before the picture is showing me. Just go ahead of that page or two. You should see it.
Okay.
Yeah. It is tall and wide.
Yeah. Okay, so what kind of experiences did your brother have?
He doesn't have them anymore that he remembers.
Okay.
But he remembers they would come through his closet, and
Okay.
he would take them. And he doesn't really remember a whole lot. He mostly remembers them taking him. And he remembered he'd be somewhere. He's feeling terrified. That's really much what I got from him so far.
I think I just found it here. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Yeah, the same thing. They both saw the same thing.
And that's interesting too. So, do you think that's cloaked or something, or is that like why do you think that it's shaped like that?
I think it's all pitch black. Like the picture there, like you notice the side view, his hands are up a bit.
Right.
But when he came in towards the doorway, he dropped his hands down. It's almost like he kept his hands hiding underneath the sleeves somehow. And then he faced me, he dropped them right down. And that's when I seen his hands and his long fingernails. And I could see his face.
So if you saw the side profile, where was he or she, where were they heading?
Down towards the living room.
Okay.
My dad was always sleeping, yes.
And this was before they visited, or before or after you visited them? Because you did see them face to face as well, right?
That wasn't right away. That was a little later.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember it was a little later.
So you've been visited multiple times by different beings. So we have a gray, right? And we have reptilian. And you also have Angie. Let me just, I saw her here. Where is she? Yeah, there she is right there.
Yeah.
So there's Angie.
Yes.
So it's one thing to get visited by an experience, like a being, and then trying to understand and interpret what that being may be. But you're seeing multiple beings at multiple different times, and they're distinctively different from each other, that you're able to label them in a sense. So why do you think you're getting that combination? Like, why isn't it when most people usually just have one type of experience with the being versus multiple?
Yeah, I didn't know that till lately. I realized that. The reason why, I'm not sure, because I mostly do see the gray. But Angie, I can say about Angie, in the way she was special. She came to me when I needed. Like, I didn't get right into my book, but I was I was not in a good state. I was depressed. I was terrified. I didn't really say much in the book, but my mom said I was in dire straits. So I just didn't know what to do because nobody was talking with me. No one knew what was going on. And when I seen Angie, she knew everything. And I was able to speak with her so freely. In a way, she was helpful that way. Like, I was able to talk to her. And she really helped me a lot, handling it more better, because I was alone.
Mm-hmm.
I was so alone. Like, no one understood me. Like, she became a second mother to me because of that reason. She was very understanding. And I can talk to her about that.
So what I do remember, is that Angie, I guess the grays appeared to be more of a watcher mentality. They're more so observing, right? And the reptilians, were they more the aggressive type, if I remember correctly?
First time I seen them, they were men in black, and
okay.
When they were with the MIB, they came across being very threatening, very stern, and their appearance was like, first time I seen it, it's like I didn't know what I was looking at. I just remember they looked like T-Rex. The best way to describe them, like I was looking at a T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
But they can talk. They can use their mouth, and they do both. They use their mouth and telepathy. They do both.
And what did they say to you?
First time I seen them, I don't really remember.
Okay.
It might be, but I remember mostly them saying my name and not harming me. That's what I remember. But it was I don't remember a whole lot. Like I didn't really get into that yet, my hypnosis.
And you saw them before you met Angie, right? Angie came later?
Yes. Not too long. I've seen them 5 times with the MIB. 5 times before I met her.
Have you ever seen them together, the MIB and Angie?
No, it's just her. Like when she took me to the hangar, there's other people there like her.
Okay.
There was people there that were working there. Like some had like a light gray jumpsuit, and some were wearing like a light tan jumpsuit.
Okay.
But I never seen any gray. Never. That I remember.
So when I'll just say up to page 58, I'm quite familiar with the experiences that you've written in here, because I helped you uncover some of that, and we made the referrals to Leslie as well for regression. And I'm quite familiar with the story up to that point, but 58 on is all new information that I didn't know about until I purchased this book. So I do have questions because I didn't get the chance to investigate them, but at the same time, this is intriguing. Reading it in a documented form. So you have another individual here. It says his name's Brandon. So who's Brandon, and how does he fit in this mix? Where did he come from?
Okay, I remember one. First time I met him is when Angie brought me to the hangar.
Okay.
We went in. We came out of the ship. We took a turn to the right, and not that far, she meets this man. He's a little taller than her. He has more of a complexion. Angie's so pale, like almost like Snow White pale. And he had more of a complexion. He was taller than her. He had reddish blonde hair. But when they're talking, I couldn't hear what they're saying. Not even to my mind. I just didn't hear them at all. I wasn't meant to hear what they're saying. But it turns out he was the leader of the captain of the ship. That's okay. And she had to go through him for permission to bring me on the ship. I remember that much too.
So did Brandon ever come to your house, or was it just Angie?
Just Angie.
And so you met Brandon when you were boarded then?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. There was another picture of an individual too. It could have been you, maybe. I don't know, or someone else. What's going on there?
Okay, that there is me when I'm describing the suit they had me wear when they're in the ship, the final stages of the ship together.
Okay.
Because of the radiation, they had me wear that.
What was it like to put it on? How did you put it on?
I remember first, it was interesting. I remember the opening in the back. First, I put the body part on. After that, they had it's like rings where you put the boots on, they attach to the rings.
Okay.
After that, they helped me with the gloves. The same thing again, had like these rings around it.
So kind of like a space suit, I guess.
We
use for the modern day astronauts, right? Yeah.
And then the helmet was interesting. So it had like all glass, but it had like a piece, like a round piece on top, and something like a narrow triangle in back. It's like a light gray color. That was on back of it. And I believe that's how the air was circulating for you to breathe. I believe that's what it was for.
Well, were you able to breathe when you had it on?
Oh yes, but
Yeah.
I
So
think that there was
so
certainly in the air. Yeah,
yeah, that might.
yeah, it was
That might be so. I guess this picture here, I guess, is kind of like other side views of the
back view. Yes,
of the helmet. Okay.
yeah, well, you know what that piece looked like.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So, how did you get to that suit? So you got these visitors. You have these visitations. You have these sightings. You have these portals, and then you have this angel or Angie, as you call, take you on board a ship. For what purpose?
Well, I remember Angie when she took me to her ship. Like she actually introduced me to her ship the first night I seen her. So I remember the first time I seen her, I heard tapping on my window. And I looked, there was a woman in my window. And we were living in a 2-story row house. It's like, how is there somebody in my window? So she came in, she walked in, and she knew my name. It's like, how does she know my name?
Right.
And she knew everything about me, everything. The Grays, everything. My mom, everything. And I remember she has like long white hair. She had very fair skin. Her eyes like a blue-green color. She was wearing a one-piece blue jumpsuit. I had like the V collar, like an opening in the neck, the collar on her neck. And she sat on my bed and just started talking to me. And then she says, I have something I want to show you. I thought, okay. And I followed her. And again, she walked right through the window in the wall the same way she came in. So I stepped over. As I about to step out, I kind of froze. As I was falling behind her, I got kind of nervous. I thought, oh Lord, I'm going to fall. I noticed how she floated down to the ground. Then she told me, she says, Lisa, she says, okay, you're not going to fall. She says, trust me, you're not going to fall. So I stepped out the window. And as I did, it had like a liquid feeling, like I was going through liquid as I was going through the wall. Didn't feel there's anything there solid at all. It was really neat. And when I stepped out, I felt like energy grabbed a hold of me, but it's not as aggressive when the Gray's energy grabbed a hold of me. It was really strong. It was paralyzed, and you just couldn't move. But hers, just like gently just floated down to the ground. And I noticed she was looking to the right, and I thought, what is she looking at? So I started to go over, kind of started to hurry over to the right side. She took me by the hand. And she goes, do you see it? And I don't see anything. So she had to hold me so I couldn't run over towards it. And as I start walking, at first I couldn't see anything. But as I got a little closer, I go, I see something like a blur. It was like a blur, like it was really different. And as I got closer, I could see it was like a triangle shape. And she told me to put my hand out. So I put my hand out carefully, right in front of me, shut my arm in front of me. And I walked closer to it. I put my hand on it, and I can see my reflection. It's like looking into a mirror. And I just seen this triangle shaped spaceship just floating above the ground. This is in my front yard. This happening. And so when I touched it, it was like a lukewarm feeling. And I noticed it was floating above the ground. So I took a look underneath it. There's no landing gear. How's this thing floating? Like how's it not touching the ground? As I went underneath it, I noticed a piece in the middle. It looked something like a teardrop or a raindrop, like that. And it had the same look. It was shiny. It's like a mirror.
Right.
In metal. So she had me come up from underneath. I went in front of it, and it was like a pointed.
That it there? This is the ship here?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like really pointed in the front, like a wedge triangle shape. And it's like really pointed, almost like a sharp. Like she had me go in front very carefully. And as I looked up at it, I noticed another triangle shape on top of it, another piece on back a little ways on the ship there. And I was looking at it and I go, I see no windows. Like I couldn't see any windows. It was like looking into a mirror. I thought, where's the windows? How does she see? Like there's no. So she took me by the hand. We floated up on top of it. And she took me on top of the smaller piece of triangle in back her ship. And I thought, how we get into this thing? So she opened it. You know, like when you take a pebble and you drop it in the water, how the water opens like a circle?
Yeah, like the ripple?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And as it done that, it opened up and I can see like look really bright white in there. So she let me in first, and I still going over to the right side. I thought I was sitting in the middle there. I wasn't sure I was supposed to go. There's seats there. Then she told me to go over to the right side, so I scooted over to the right side. We both sat in the seats, and they moved forward a bit. Just forward. I thought, okay, how did these move the way they did? And as I was sitting there, I was looking forward, and I go, I can see outside. Like it's like you couldn't see the windows from outside, but when you're in a ship, you can see the houses right in front of us, like people living in front of us.
So like a I guess a two-way mirror.
Yeah,
Sense.
Like
Yeah.
that. It was like wow, and it was so bright white in there. Like the whole ship was white, except for there's an arm piece on the right side where you can put your arm on, like a medium gray color. I didn't know what it was for at that time. But it was all white. I remember there was a ball in front of me where I was sitting, and she had something like a screen. I'm not really sure what that was today. I just remember something like a screen. I don't really remember.
This picture here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was so excited. I was so excited. I thought, oh wow, where's she gonna take me? And I'm sitting there talking to her. At first, right away, I didn't know that we're moving because you don't hear any sound of engines or nothing. You don't even feel any movement. I just remember looking out the window and I can see that we were moving. And we're moving very fast, like everything's like a streak, like a blur. You know, you look out the window at night, you can see lights on the ground, or during the day, you can see what's underneath you. Mm-hmm. It's just like a streak. We're going that fast. It's just a blur. I couldn't tell where we were at times.
Were you on Earth still, or in space, or another planet? Like where did you?
Earth first, a few times, and then she started taking me into outer space. And it's just seconds, Ryan. Just matter of seconds. You're from Earth and you're above Earth. And she took me around it, over it, under it. And I would see day and night on the Earth as she took me around. It was fascinating. It was just fascinating.
Now, do you recall if you are physically being taken, or is it more of a mental experience?
Oh no, it was physical.
Physical? Okay.
Yeah, I'd be wide awake.
And you can feel everything you touch, and it's more of a real.
Oh, it's real. No. Yeah. Very real. It's too real. Very real. I can feel it, everything. It's real.
So these people are these beings are visiting, and Angie is the one that's taking you around for a ride, that's bringing you on the ship, gets permission from Brandon. What are the Greys and the Reptilians doing, and the Men in Black? What's the point of them? What did they do?
Ever since my childhood, I found the Greys very cruel. They like there's a part in my book, it's called a planetarium. Like the last interview, the person I was speaking with, like he asked about the planetarium. I don't think I put it in my book. Maybe I should have, but I told him I believe the planetarium was a reward for behaving and not causing trouble, just doing what you're supposed to do. I really believe that's what the planetarium was for. It's the grace that took us to the planetarium.
And but for what reason though?
Oh, the planetarium, it was like a reward. If we did what we're told to do, if we, since I completed the maze game, I did this and that, that's what they...
So can you elaborate on this planetarium? Like what exactly is it? What exactly is that?
The planetarium, I remember, it's different from the rest of the ship because most of the ship was like a bright white. But the planetarium, the walls were like a medium brown. It was a large room. It was medium brown. And one part, they had like a huge window from floor to ceiling. And all you can see is the stars. I remember I would walk up to this window and just lean on it. And it felt like I was literally out in the stars. It really did. And I just loved that feeling. And it was... down the other end, there's like this huge bronze, like a plaque or something up on the wall there. And what it was is like a huge star chart, like from one point of the universe to the other. It would show all the areas where the Greys have been to, where they traveled through. And as a child, that's when I learned how huge space is. And I say huge, I mean space is huge. It's more immense than your imagination. It's really big. And I learned that through them. And I actually learned like there's other stars out there with planets, and these planets like ours had moons. Yeah, there's quite a bit out there.
So why do you think their point is educating you on that? Why are they showing you that? Is there a reason?
I think too, I always had the interest in stuff like that. As a child, I always found space very fascinating. That could be one reason why they're showing that to me.
Okay. But there's no other reason to that other than, like, is there education to that? Or is that's where we're from? That's just,
yeah.
You know, okay.
It was a bit educational. It was. When I think of it, like some people ask me if they're training we're training in certain ways, especially when I talk about the maze game.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of what I was trying to get into, because I'm aware of that, because like these symbols, right? That's part of the maze game, right? These symbols.
Yes. Like. Yes.
So talk about the maze game. What is that?
I'll start from the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
Training right down to the end.
Okay.
Yes. Like there was me. There was another girl there. And there's two boys. We're all the same age. Like close in age, like 3.5 to like 5 and 5 in there. And we always went to this white room. We would go in there. There was a rectangle white table. We sat in there on white chairs. Like all of us be sitting on one side of the table. And the Greys would be in front. And I remember a couple of them being behind us. Just make sure that we were doing what we were supposed to be doing. And we had something like a tablet. It was all white. And it had symbols on it. They were black. We had to learn these symbols. And once we had memorized, we had to write them all out on this tablet. And what we used to do, we used to help one another. We would actually help one another do these symbols. And sometimes you would have a little competition who can learn them first and who can memorize the most of them. We used to do that. But there's always this poor little girl there with me. She was never happy. She was teary-eyed. Sometimes she was crying. And I try to help her, but it wasn't easy. But when we had that done, they took us down to another area. When we got to the end there, we were going, the door split open. And also the room was really dark. And I thought, ooh, what's this? Like, why is it so dark? And we stepped inside it. We turned to the right at first, and you can see like there was these long, thin lights going up and down and across on the wall there. And the walls were like a medium gray. And it wasn't really bright in there. It was a really weird, uncomfortable feeling when we first got in there. After we stepped to the right, we looked down to the other end of the left there, at the end there of the room. There's a wall there. And a couple of grays. One open, like the doors open from the middle, like one piece slid to the left and the other piece slid to the right. And when they'd done that, and we noticed these openings, that were square openings, like there was 3 on the top, 3 in the middle, and 3 on the bottom. And we noticed like they're lit up. You can see that they're illuminating inside like a light, like a bluish white light coming from them. And they had a ladder, which like something like a middle chain ladder. You go up, walk up to each, like the higher levels.
We're talking about these boxes here, right?
Yeah, the entrance. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I remember me the first time I'd done it. I went down the bottom one to the left at the end there. That's the first one I went into. But the thing with this maze, though, when you go in there, you had to go on your hands and knees. That's how you had to do it. And after we all went to our areas we're supposed to go to, they would slide the doors closed behind you. And it wasn't a good feeling. You knew that you couldn't get out of there until you'd done it, until you did the maze. They weren't going to let you go home. And we reached in our own spot. Like if sometimes you would run to meet one another, but we weren't allowed to talk with another. We just had to keep going our own way. It's just different levels to this maze. And when you first get in there, like the lights, some will be running on the bottom, on the side of the wall, on the floor, on the bottom. And they had these symbols on them. Like they were black. And they're like, they have like lines, like columns, like lines, and there'd be in those lines there. And they're black. And they were raised. You can feel them. Feel what they were, even when you weren't looking at them. So you had to follow those. We were at like, so we know which way to go and to get out of this maze. And it wasn't really short. It was long enough. And the corners there, they were curved. Mm-hmm. And even on the corners, on the wall there, like on the side, like the light there going up down the side of the wall, there's a couple of symbols in there as well.
The lights were on the bottom, like in that picture there, right?
Yeah, and then you can see there's on the sides there, there's a little sides there, the curve there. They're on the side there too, if you know which way to turn. Those are the turn tape. And as you got further in it, like there's different levels. Like there's like ramps. Some would take you down, some would take you up. And I remember one time I was in there. I could feel like a breeze blowing in. So I looked down. So I went further. I looked down. I noticed like they have more symbols, but they were different. They're more like shapes, and they were open, and like on the bottom, like the other ones were. And I can feel the breeze blowing in. And I thought, well, this must be how I'd get out of here. It must be at the end. But as I went cross over, I looked out through these open areas, and I thought, oh my word, the trees. I was above the trees. The trees were underneath me. And I said, okay, I'm up too high. And those ones were locked, so you couldn't fall. So I had to go down a few levels. And then, as I was going through it, I could feel the breeze again. So I knew I was getting close. So as I crawled further, I could see them. And it's like you had to find which door that will slide open for you. So you can get out. After you get out, you have to run across the field, and they give you a certain spot with trees. You had to go to that area and run there and wait till they get you.
And that's when these windows here, right?
Yes. Yeah. And we meet at that spot. Sometimes someone would get there before you do, or not get there till after you do, and we had to wait. But one time, the girl was missing, and we thought, "Oh no, where is she? Is she not here?" And I remember we can hear this horrible scream. I mean, terrible. And we knew it was her. We never seen her. We never saw her again after that. She just couldn't take it anymore, so they didn't bother having it for that test anymore. Just a screaming bloody murder. It was terrible. Gives me chills just thinking of it.
Well, it is a terrifying thing. I mean, I guess you had, you're very good at going through with that.
But another thing too, I realized, like later on, like there was very little girls that done that. It was mostly boys.
Okay.
Mostly the boys that done that testing. I found that interesting today. Yeah. They did find another girl that to take her place.
Was any of these testings have to do with your mind, or was it all physical?
It seems to be very physical. That's the thing. Like I had missing time going in the field, and that it's just the thing though. It seems so physical. And then I had times of missing time. Nobody could find me. Nobody. And yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because I do recall that when you found the tree, that was when they took you home, but
Yeah.
the same spot, just a different place and time, right?
That huge field I was in did have some trees in there. Yes. If it was in the same field, I'm not sure. I can't really say.
And how far away was because they dropped you off somewhere near your home, right?
Yeah, like the field was huge. This is acres big. Like back then, that's before they started. Like I was like I'm 55 right now, so that was a while ago. This is before they had any home or anything put in there. This is a huge field. There's nothing in there but trees and.
So I got a question from Stacey, which is kind of along what I was thinking too. Is she's asking, do you feel you're involved in anything similar to what we call the secret space program?
Okay, to be honest, I never heard. See, I didn't know a whole lot about this stuff, and stuff. Like I never heard anything at all about the secret space program until I met Leslie. I never heard of it.
Okay.
And so I was curious. Oh, what is it? Is it like I didn't have a clue? I asked her all these questions, trying to get information about it. And one time she put me under hypnosis, and she was trying to get that info out of me. And I didn't know much about it. Like I went online. I found a little bit info about it. Like the seller, he mentioned stuff about the secret space program. Randy Kramer, he told me some stuff that blew me away. It's like, okay, how's he know that? There's stuff about Angie's technology I did not put in the book, and Randy Kramer knew all of it. He told me everything. How does he know? And he's been involved in that.
And now he told you this after, like you didn't hear that from him before you had your experiences?
My book wasn't even out yet. I was still writing in my journal. And one time, Leslie, I got in contact with him, like he's Leslie's friend, and I was speaking to him, and we started talking about some of our experiences, and he was right on. I can send you an email, tell you what he said. It was right on. Like a reason why I did not put that in my book, if someone told me that it'd make my story more credible, like, you know what I'm saying? But he was right on. The spaceship, the everything.
So in terms of secret space program, the understanding is obviously a program in space that's kept secret, as simple as it is. But I mean, it usually involves stories that take individuals to meet beings and creatures and things like that, off-world or on-world, to complete some types of missions that help for whatever an unknown reason that's been kind of given to the people and whatnot too. So it meets the criteria. Now, Randy has a different background and different understanding of the phenomenon. You not calling it that, I can understand that when you didn't know about it, but now that you're aware of it, do you think it fits in that category, or is it something else?
Like this was not like last year. I found books, like, you know, there's one part in my book that I seen them put a spaceship together. Well, there's other people claim they said the same thing. This triangle ship, and they're describing, it's like, oh my word. Wow.
So how do they put the ship together? How does that work?
Okay, at first they had like a frame. I'll try to explain this. That's how I do the picture so people know what I'm talking about. Like, I remember they had like a silver middle frame. Like the top part was something like a upside down Y, you know, like a Y, right? And you bend the bottom part right over to the top part.
Yeah.
Like upside down. It was like that. And underneath it, they like stand as like another piece there. It's a little thicker and going down, and it's attached to something like a V on the bottom.
Is it this thing here?
I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silver. That's it.
Okay. So this is the ship that they're building.
Yes, and that piece there apparently is the front. Because after I seen that, like, they show me small pieces. Like, I seen that part, first thing I seen, and then when I seen it again, they had like the bottom part, like the piece there where the piece is folding over it on top.
Yeah.
Like a waxy thing inside, like a big piece inside it. And I didn't know what that was for at first. But she showed me pieces of a craft. Like, there's one there, it looks like a diamond, something like a diamond, but has a piece on top.
So like that one there?
And I had like another piece, as you can see, come up from the side there, like a black piece there, like the silver circles going around it, and
right
on back. And she had me hold on to that. Like, she told me it was heavy. I had like Brandon was behind me. He's helped me hold it in my two hands, and this is the size of Angie's hands, like from her wrist right down to her fingers. And when I held on to it, I was surprised how heavy it was. It was really heavy.
And so that's a ship you were holding on to in your hands, though?
That's part of the ship.
Part of the ship, okay.
One of the pieces that go inside that thing I was telling you about, that's in the thing. Okay.
Now, was this a spaceship? Is this a terrestrial ship, like on Earth, or planetary? Anything like that? What kind of?
I find it's planetary, like it's meant for space travel.
Okay.
From different worlds, not just ours, but other worlds as well. And there's several of those pieces too. That's not the only one. Some are different shapes, like rectangle shape, square shape, and other shapes. They had, like, I believe, I drew those in the book as well. There's different shapes, and each one had that piece sticking out of it. Yeah.
There's a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And I noticed too, they were very magnetic. Like, she one time she put this white cloth on the floor and she put all these pieces on it. And she would raise her hands over it and the things would lift up and just pull together. And I thought, oh, cool. So I tried it. It took me a while and I finally done it.
Wow.
And you can feel like a magnet energy coming from it. It's really different. They all pull together and they would pull apart. I had to think in my mind really hard to make them pull together and come apart. Yeah.
Interesting. So, do you think your energy had anything to do with that, or it had its own force built in?
I believe my energy had something. I believe it was connected somehow. It's hard to explain, but I believe it was connected. Yeah.
Okay. One of these images here, it's kind of like a side view of like I don't know. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at there. What is that?
Okay, like in a hangar, like it was really huge, like a long rectangle area, and there was 3 long entrances in the hangar. Like they're all down on one side of the wall. Like there'll be one entrance on the very far right. There was one in the middle. Then there was one entrance down the far back, the other end. And as I looked out these entrances, sometimes I would see this, like a vehicle thing, like that one there was long. I remember I would see them going down, like there's like a highway, a couple lane highway. This way describing it. And I would see one person sitting in it. It had a piece in front, but there was no steering wheel or nothing. It was like Angie's ship. There's just no steering wheel or anything at all.
Okay.
And it's like they're controlling their mind. And what you see on back is like cargo, and it's like wrapped up in this fabric. It's like fabric. I wouldn't say paper, like fabric. And it was like gray and black and white.
Now, were they driving these inside the ship or outside the ship to get to the ship?
Oh, they're for inside the ship.
Okay.
And another thing too about these things, they had no wheels. No wheels.
Okay.
All they had was underneath it was a white piece, and just glide on the floor. There's no sound. Just glide it on the floor. And then they had a smaller one there. Like I had a girl there. She's a friend of mine. And when she came in, she'd be on the smaller one.
Right.
It held 8 people, 8 passengers, and the 9th one would be the one that was controlling it.
The mind controls it, you said?
Yeah, I believe it does. But person there's one man there. He had like light gray one-piece jumpsuit, and he had white hair like Angie, and he was riding it, smaller one, and he bringing the girl, the one that became friends with. She's like Angie. She had the long white hair. And she had unique eyes. They were yellowish color. They're pretty.
It's interesting. I mean, like the attention to detail too. Like I mean, like there's you can't really tell from this image here, but I mean, you got these triangles, and these dots that are in the center there to show some texture here. But you got the back view as well, side view. So you were in these yourself then?
No, I was not in those. I would have loved to go into one. And again, it just glided across the floor. It made no sound. There's no wheels.
And just passing by. Where did it go to? Did you see?
Oh, it would go out one of the entranceways.
Okay.
Like it's mainly the middle one. And when they leave, they go out and they would turn to the left. Like they come in from the right and they go out. They go to the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
highway, 2 lane highway. This way, put
inside the ship, though.
Yes, it was inside the ship. That's how they get around. It would.
Yeah. So that would mean the ship is quite large.
Yeah. I just saw one piece. That's there's that huge room. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so we're going to pause right here, but we'll continue after a message from our sponsors. If you're listening to this audio-only version, head over to youtube.com/Experience Your Support Association and see the video that goes with this audio. So if you're listening to this, I've been showing these images, throughout this whole segment right here too. So you might want to check those out. But you can also purchase Lisa's book, and you can see that link in the description below. You are listening to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat, a podcast by the Experiencers Support Association, and we will be right back.
It's your business. It's your property. Your assets are worth protecting. Blacklight Investigative and Surveillance Services specializes in patrolling and inspecting residential or commercial property against fire, theft, vandalism, terrorism, and illegal activity. People and buildings are monitored to prevent crime. Keep your property, your people, and your assets safe from threat. Our elite staff are dual licensed private investigators and security guards. Blacklight Investigative and Surveillance Services. Go to blacklightiss.com.
The same thing that draws aliens to our planet is the same thing that draws us to others. Exploration, curiosity, sustainability of life. That's why we go. It would make sense as to why they're visiting here.
Travis! Quit playing around, man. Get back here. Travis!
The last thing I remember was this numbing shock. Stunning sort of a feeling. Very powerful.
Get away from me!
I was just out of my mind with fear, just screaming the whole time.
It's been theorized that aliens prefer remote areas because they don't want to attract attention. Whatever it is that they're doing, they would want to do that in a less populated area. There are multiple accounts of the same thing from people from all over the world. People that do not know each other, do not live in the same cultures, and they're all looking up, they're all seeing things in the sky. So it would be naive of us to think that
Ryan is one of Canada's leading new UFO investigators. He conducts and oversees UFO investigations on a constant basis and was really taken by his research. He's compiled a tremendous amount of data regarding UFOs in Canada. Just as interesting, he really goes over how UFO investigations are done and what are some of the mistakes that people make when they submit evidence. Note for starters, don't edit your videos or photos before you send them. If you want to hear more follow-up conversation between Ryan and myself, you can go to richardolanmembers.com, where we have a candid conversation on ufology, the paranormal, and more. And remember, while we learn and grow and search for the truth, let's be good to each other.
Welcome to the Observation Deck, a state-of-the-art, one-of-a-kind virtual platform that takes video conferencing to the next level by using avatars to navigate a campus, just like you would in real life. First, you install the application and design your very own unique avatar. Then you're free to explore the various areas of the campus at any time from anywhere. There's so many areas and activities to choose from on the platform. There's a 1,000-seat auditorium, a large expo hall, a movie theater, a nightclub, an art gallery, and even a beach. Come attend a conference, or take a class, or hear a lecture. Meet new friends and interact directly with presenters. It's all right here on the incredible Observation Deck campus. Where in the world will you go?
Have you ever wondered, or maybe just thought to yourself, if there were others just like you? You know, people with extraordinary abilities, psychogenic advancement, and perhaps unique intuitions. Maybe you just wondered if there were other people who experienced unimaginable, unexplained, or even unusual and paranormal events. Are there people who have more questions, more fears than answers? Well, you're not alone. You've never been alone. We believe you. Sign up for EA today by going to tesacan.org/EA. That's TESACAN.org/EA.
Welcome back. You are listening to Beyond the Tinfoil Hat. Have you ever experienced an unexplained event involving the paranormal, UFOs, and extraterrestrials, dogman, or any other paracryptid, or any of the things that Lisa had explained tonight? Head over to our website, www.experienceyoursupport.org, and submit a report. Let the others who have already reported be that example that proves we are making a difference. And if it wasn't for these reports, we would not be able to do what we do. And for that, we thank you. And that is extended to you, Lisa. You know, a lot of the inspiration behind the ultra spectrum paranormal report and the ultra spectrum classification system comes from the very fact that you have a very complex case with multiple things. So I just had this open here too. So you can head over to Amazon and you can get Lisa's book here. There is a link in the description as well on the banner below. And you can get it in paperback copy for $12.95 or the Kindle version. And this is the cover right here. Right here. So, a true account of alien encounters living in two worlds by Lisa Savoy, and it was published by Promedia Press. So, how did you come up with the name?
Living in two worlds.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to say that. That's how I feel. Like I have the world of like being an experiencer,
Mm-hmm.
and then this world, and it just seemed like two separate worlds to me.
No,
that's the way I could put it in words for that.
And it makes sense because like if you live this life, and that's like that for a lot of experiencers, right? Because you go to sleep or you just appear in other realms. You know, different things are happening at the same time, and there's a lot of characteristics with your events that it is almost like another life because you're being taught, you're going to school in a sense, you're showing machines, you're meeting people, different beings, and then you go back to your life, and then you're getting in trouble because you were missing and they can't find you, you know, and things like that too. So if you had a choice to live in one world, which world would it be?
Well, at times I meant there's a lot of stuff I wish that didn't happen. Even today, just some crazy stuff. But I have Angie in my life, and I think what would be like if I didn't have this happening? Like I have no regrets meeting her. I mean, you know, but there's at times I wish this would come, especially today. Like, when's this going to come to an end? You know, it's my mom been having these terrible experiences lately, and she's 80 years old. It's like, seriously, who wants to pick on an 80-year-old woman? You know, it's just not right. I mean, she's other issues, you know, other problems. She doesn't need more stuff like that.
It's hard to get the intent, right? So you've telepathically communicated with Angie and Brandon to the point that you know that their intent is positive. They bring you, you know, they welcome you into their home, if you will, if they live on this ship. They are educating you, they are teaching you, they want you to do something with this information. That is comforting. That's a good feeling. You don't like the Greys and you don't like the Reptilians because of how it makes you feel. It feels there's more of that negative feeling.
Yes.
Do you want to talk more about what it is that they've done to emphasize why you don't like them? You don't have to. I'm aware. I just thought that maybe we would want to talk about the opposite side because it's not always pleasant.
Like I'll be honest, the Men in Black been a little bit threatening lately. I'll say that much. Aggressive, and I don't talk much about it. Like I can send you an email about it, but it's just like
it's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to.
I don't know what to do.
No, it's okay. So it's also I have a stacked deck because I'm aware of the experiences and I just wanted to kind of point out to our listeners that there's a positive and a negative with experiences. Experiences can be perceived positively as well as negatively. But this is a complex experience in which there seems to be negative entities that are interfering with positive entities, but they're both entities that are not of this realm.
No.
So it's one thing to try to comprehend and accept and cope with the idea of interacting with a being not on this planet. It's another getting in the middle of this war, I guess, if you will. But there's something about you as an individual that's within their appetite, if you will. So there is a need for the reptilians and the greys to disturb and cause harm. Equally, there's a need for Angie and Brandon to enhance and to grow and to heal you.
Yes.
You're stuck in the middle between that. So why do you that makes you special in a sense, but what are you going to do anything with this? Is there a future that they are prepping you for, or are they just informing you? Like, how does this work?
Well, my last interview, the one Simon Brown, he asked me an interesting question. Like, he's actually the first one to ask me that question besides Leslie. He said to me, he goes, Lisa, he says, do you ever think you'll see Angie again? And I said, yes, I really think I am. I'm not sure when. I can't say, but I feel it's getting closer. So that's all I can say. I just have this very strong feeling.
When was the last time you saw her?
Physically, when I was a child.
Okay.
I have seen her psychically in my mind. I have done that. And the little girl I made friends with, of course, now she's an adult. I have seen her too. In my mind.
So this had started at a young age, and then nothing, and then you've lived this whole time, and then you've decided to write a book.
My mom's the one that got me to write the book. It took her a little bit, but I've been talking to her about my experiences for a while. And one time she says, Lisa, you should be really writing these down. So I started doing that. A couple months later, I told her. And she goes, oh, you should have it published as a book. I go, oh, I don't know. I said, I'm going to think this over. I wasn't, at that time, I just wasn't for it. But I thought about it. So I told her, it's okay, I'll think about that. I think I'll do that. And I've been writing it for a while.
And that's very supportive of your mother as well, to encourage you to do that.
I believe, too, you're the one that helped me get in contact with Anna. I remember straight.
Yeah, because like I am always an advocate to getting it off your chest. Journaling is a very good idea to document it. It's good to get it out of your mind, and that's what I try to encourage you to do. Is just document it. Make the reports. You get a copy if it's easier, so we can look at it, things like that. But then you continue to journal, and then you stop. You had no need to make the reports anymore. It became a habit, and you were journaling, and then your mom encouraged you to take those journals and put it into book format. And then I introduced you to Anna and Leslie, as well, for hypnotherapy. And now you're on your own. Training wheels are off. And then at that time when you first reported to MUFON, by the way, you were not this person that's sitting in front of me. You were having a really hard time.
Yeah.
And so, very proud of you. Very, very proud to see you, as an experiencer, evolve, and you have a lot of support, and that's good. So now that it's written, now that you've done it, how do you feel?
Actually, it feels good having that done. And having it out, like it always will be out. Like I always will have it out. I am writing more stuff down, but I probably will have another book. But you may have to wait for a bit because it's not easy writing that down. And ever since I gave my book out to Anna to pass to the editor, some of my experiences went downhill. Just went crazy. I didn't know what's going on. If anyone told me that could happen, I would never believe them. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, I got it done though. My book is out. It's done, so it's always will be out.
And to put pen to paper, that puts you in a very, for any topic, writing a book, any biographies or self-biographies or, this is experience or testimony. These are personal things. These are things that you have experienced and genuinely believe wholeheartedly is happening. And there's risk of judgment.
Yeah.
And you didn't care. You did it. Well, I mean, I'm sure you did care before, but you've done it. And now, how are you being treated?
Actually, like a neighbor knows about it. She probably told her other friends in this area. Like she has a book. My friends, my family. Actually, I'm not being treated any different than I was before.
See?
So I'm lucky.
Very lucky. And all these fears that we carry are, and with fear of being judged and ridiculed because we believe in something or have experiences that cannot be explained. They hold us back. So now you can move forward. Now you're I hear that you're still journaling. You have ideas to you have the need and the want to write another book of additional experiences. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing the second book? Because the first one came off because you needed to do something more with it because you had all this information. Why go through it again?
Ever since I for over a year now, I've been communicating with Terry Loveless. He was a really good help. I don't know if he knows, but he was really good help. Helped me do, like I was communicating as a process of writing it and then sending it out to the editor. So he encouraged me a lot. Like I've been doing like over a year now, and he helped me a lot. And you did too. Anna, Leslie, they helped me a lot. And they kind of encouraged me to do another one in the process. And I said, okay, I'll think about it. And then I told them, I said, okay, I'll do it. Again, like encouraged my mom and then other people as well. I said, come on, do it. Like even my son's friend there, she's the same way. She's always telling me, do another one. And so in a way, it's good that I do write this down and just get out of your system. And so I'm still finding it hard to write it, but I find it not as hard as it used to be. Like he's going to pull a different person I used to be. I'm not this little frightened child that didn't know what to do.
Well, there's a lot of things, when you put, we could talk theory all day long, but when you're putting pen down on paper, when I was working with you to get you to draw these beings, because you had just explained them, drawing wasn't something that you were accustomed to at the beginning, and now you're an artist. You're drawing everything that you see too, but once you see it and you're looking at it, that reality hits you in a sense, like this is real, and that adds to the belief, that adds to the testimony as well, and things like that. It's very powerful when you put pen to paper, especially with the word, put your thoughts on the piece of paper and read it out loud. And then you kind of realize in those moments, wow, I said this. And then at that moment, that's where the editor comes in. Do you say it that way, or did I mean it that way? And, or is this the message that I want to convey? And after reading and going through this, I don't know how much was edited, but it appears that you just let it all go. You didn't hold anything back. You were very open. You were very honest.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. So good job.
2.5 years to do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you had all those years of holding on to it, and now you feel good. You feel better.
Yes.
Any negative consequences of writing the book?
No, writing it was the journal was fine.
Good.
Yeah.
I highly recommend that people put pen to paper, and obviously I would like you to make reports, but if you want to, publish a book or things like that too, we can help you as well. So that's good. All right. So now that the book is published, you are doing podcasts like this. You also mentioned that there's an event coming up that is this going to be your first time? Are you a vendor or are you a speaker?
No, just a vendor.
Okay. So how do you feel about doing that? Sitting at a table and having, and explaining to people your experience?
Actually, I find it kind of exciting. Like I feel more ready for that now. Like probably before I couldn't, but since I did 5, this is my 5th interview this year. So I feel more confident. And I thought too, by going down to this, they get to know me, and maybe in the future, maybe they will take me as a speaker. You never know.
Well, if you get the opportunity and you have the, the gumption or the courage to do so, I would recommend it because it's an example. And I don't know who's listening. I don't know who will be listening to this to the replay. But I can say, that having moments like this and explaining it gives opportunity for others to say that happened to me too. There's validation, and because you're able to speak up, imagine all the others that were in your same shoes, that are still in your same shoes, that might want to do this as well, but they're afraid of all this retribution and all these, all these negative things that happening to them. So you're becoming a role model for experiencers as well. So if you get a speaking engagement, why not try it? And you'd be surprised. I remember when I did my first speaking engagement with MUFON, it was like a 10-minute segment. I didn't want to do it. I was nervous as hell. I'm not an experiencer then, and I did it. I had like notes and cue cards and everything, and I didn't look up. I didn't do anything and all that other stuff, but it was good enough that, that people liked it. And then just here I am doing all these other things. It evolves. And I can say with the pattern, actually, let me show you with our new website. So our new website here, if we go to investigations, let me see here, go down to our evidence. So we have event categories. If I go down to beings observed, I just click that and let this pop up. We have a variance of beings that were observed. So these are some of the cases from 2019. So I haven't uploaded 2020 yet. Are you okay with me identifying which ones are yours? Or
yes, that's fine.
Okay, so this one here is yours right here. With this particular case, there's the men in black. You got these cloaks here, and I just want to kind of show with this visual evidence database with this particular case on the number 25. This is a different event, but you notice how they're wearing a cloak as well.
Yes.
So this individual wasn't able to remember the face, but the fingers kind of look a little reptilian, if you will. Different color, it's gray, but that might be not what they remember. So we can only get certain details with the colors. And then you can start, as we build the database, we can start to see characteristics that are similar. This one here is like similar to that secret space program in a sense, but there's human beings that are present and things like that too. So the point that I'm trying to make is, because you did things, it also for us, it gave us the opportunity to present your case and have others report, because others are starting to see the same, and then we're going to see other things like this. So this is on the website if you haven't seen this one yet. Essentially, here's a little recreation video. Did you see this video yet?
I've seen one. One with Angie and the Spears.
Yeah, I think it's this one here. So I don't know if
I
we
didn't
have
see that one. That one. I didn't see this one yet.
You didn't see this one? Okay, let me play it here.
Yeah, I couldn't find that one for some reason.
Can you hear it?
No.
Okay, it's all right. So there's music in the background, but so this is the one when you had injuries too, right?
Yes, those were horrific. They were.
So the point of these videos is just to draw attention to others that may have seen the same thing, and we want to encourage them to make these reports, so that way we can compare it. And I wouldn't have been able to do these color drawings if you didn't draw as well. So this is kind of, a way for us to bring it to life.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've always enjoyed your videos. It's unique, huh? How you done it? It's pretty unique. I like how you did your videos.
Yeah, thanks.
Hmm.
We also have your witness statement. So this just explains how it came in. And then we have the original evidence. I put that down there just to, emphasize that, this is one of my unidentified cases. So this is on my website. I'm swearing up and down that this is something that can't be explained. And this kind of reinforces your book as well, right? There's your guy right there. And then here's additional data about the case. Of course, identifiers are removed. So unless you had mentioned that this was you, nobody would have known. They can't figure that out from here. You mentioned Angie. So let me see.
Yeah, this other video, it's one of the spheres I saw in the field, the symbols, and Angie.
Yeah. Okay. So Angie might be aerial activity. So let me see here. Evidence categories, aerial activity. Right here, this one.
Yes. Yeah, that one.
This one here. So this, for those who are listening and paying attention here, I also transcribed a little bit of the hypnosis. I left identifiers out though. This image here, this is in your book as well.
Yes.
Now you kept talking about the ship and the triangle and all that other stuff, and I was just waiting for you to bring this up because, like,
okay,
I thought this was the ship. This is not the ship.
No, that's the one I seen in the field, and during the time I was having this in time, I would see this in the field. Okay.
Okay. And then there's Angie there. So there's your original drawing of Angie in color as well. Yeah. And then there's your cubes, little tunnels, and those symbols. And then, so back in 1969, a long time ago.
Yeah.
And, so that's what we're doing. And then we have them also on our visual evidence database. So what I'm trying to emphasize, because you were saying you were hesitating, I said because you were able to report, I was able to, I got this idea where I was able to find more people that was able to do, they may have having the same experience. So I want to thank you for that, because this is inspiration for all of this as well. And it's also how we were able to come up with this classification system. Where is it here? Because with MUFON, we weren't able, so this is a classification system that I have here, but with MUFON, we weren't able to classify your case properly because you have psychic ability, you have visitation, you have beings observed. I coined what's called the paranormal hat trick. And that was inspired by your case because You have a complex case of multiple paranormal and alien activity that can't be explained.
Mm.
And then as I learned, there are a lot of other people that seem to have this complex thing as well. And then I'm trying to figure out and piece it together to figure out what may not be happening. So, and that's because you decided to make a report. So the worst thing that anyone could do is keep it inside. If they want to journal. If they want to write a book, write a book. If they want to tell someone, don't keep it inside. Because the more people that share their experiences, and you're open about it too. And there's a lot of people that watch the show that want to be anonymous, that don't want their name attached to anything like that. We got to move the marker so it's not close to their house, so all these other things like that too. You're representing them now. You're representing those experiencers. So keep up the good work, and thank you for doing that. And you should be proud.
Thank you. Yes. And that picture I was showing you earlier, I'll make sure I send that into you.
The car?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I want you to take a picture and get a license plate so I can run the plate and find out who that is.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have any camera on me when I.
Well, if you can remember, if you can see the license plate, write the license plate down. We might be able to figure something out. Because if that is Men in Black watching you, then we'll be able to find. I'll get a name from the plate.
Yeah, it's just.
And if they're not, as I said before the show, if they don't have a plate, it's against the law, so we can report it to the police and shut it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so let me think here. Do you have any specific paragraph or anything you want to read from the book at all? Do you want to share anything? Or
There's actually a lot of. I actually took my book and I stuck some little paper bookmarks in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
if you want to read.
I can read about the spear in the field. I can read that part.
Okay, go ahead.
Since I didn't do that part, so I'll read that one. Make sure I get the right. Yes, I do. Okay, I'll read the first part. When I was a child of 3.5, we used to live in Cambridge in a row house. We had train tracks sit on top of a small man-made hill in our backyard, and behind that there was a large field. I wasn't allowed there, but I went there anyway. I would leave by my front door, turn right, then walk a fair distance down the street from our home until I reached the part where I could go under the tracks and into the field. One day, I walked part of the way and encountered a basketball-sized spear that hovered before me. While I watched, the spear slowly moved to the right, then stopped and continued to hover. Was it an angel? At first, the spear was white, that became orange and then turned red, then started moving toward me, increasing in size. At that time, I didn't know what I was looking at, nor had I ever heard of a UFO. It changed once more, then got closer, and the black ring formed around it. Beautiful. Yellow-orange lights revolved around and kept approaching me. By this time, it had descended, it had stopped glowing, and then taken on a metallic bronze sheen. The spear was massive, its surface smooth and reflective. I still wasn't frightened, just a curious child. After that, I don't remember anything else except that I stood there confused, alone, and where had the spear gone? When I went home, I met some kids. Where have you been? They asked. Your parents have been looking everywhere for you. You're in so much trouble. I haven't been out that long, I said, confused and angry. I didn't know what they were talking about. By the time I got home, I heard the same thing from my parents. Where have you been? We have been looking for you for hours. I wasn't gone that long, I said. I didn't understand what was going on, and they punished me for it by sending me to my room.
So So
it was very confusing for me. I didn't know what was going on.
So how did your mom go from punishing you to supporting you to write a book?
Oh, that was, well, the thing about my mom, like, I didn't really start telling her about my experience, like, as an adult. Like a child, she just surpassed me as being dreams. Like, she didn't really listen. But when I was living in Winnipeg, all this horrible stuff was going on with me in Winnipeg. I would tell her about that and being taken and stuff like that. And having these horrible marks on me. My husband actually seen some before he left. And so I talked to her about that for years, right till living here in Windsor. And that's when I started writing my journal. I was writing before I even met Leslie. I wasn't too long before I start seeing Leslie that I start writing it.
We want to. It's a good thing that you brought up Leslie too. So Leslie Mitchell-Clark is a regression hypnotherapist. I met her through the Mutual UFO Network. My opinions on regression has since changed. Not because of Leslie, but just how complex the investigation process has gone. But I'm curious to know. But, how was that experience for you going into trying that for the first time? What happened? And how was that for you?
Before I went to see Leslie, I talked to her a few times on the phone before I went till I felt more comfortable with it. Because, I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure what it's going to be like. Is it going to be traumatizing? Because after my first regression, I realized how realistic it seemed, and it's like you're living it all over again. But Lizzie was very good. She does it very well. Like if you're in too much distress, she would wake you up. She wouldn't let you, get traumatized by it. But the first time I went to see Leslie, I was talking to her, like, she goes, "Do you remember any of your experiences?" And I go, "Oh yeah." I said, "I remember everything." Like, I would talk to her, tell her everything, and she put me under, and I would tell her exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, she told me I'm rare. I didn't know. Like, everything in my book is about hypnosis. Every single bit of it is about hypnosis.
So on this particular case here, I'll add it to the post or to the comments right now, just so people have it. But I did transcribe parts of your regression that I thought was significant to enhance the experience. And to reinforce this, prior to the referral for regression, I had already collected all this information. We already had the drawings. We were at a point where you didn't remember more. I couldn't get more from you. You just didn't remember. So we thought that, okay, if we were to use regression, then there was a chance that you would unlock a little bit and you would remember. And hearing the regression, it was good because it validated the questions that I had, because I don't know if you know this, but I asked Leslie to ask you specific questions to get answers for me to help with my case. You wouldn't have known that.
No.
But when I'm listening to the regression, it checked all these boxes, and I was just like, okay, so that rules out this. It can't be that. Proves credibility. You generally believe this has happening. I don't know what it is, and therefore unidentified, and kind of goes in that category. And I did notice though that you expanded on the details. So you did remember all the points, but you started to explain more specific details because it brought you back, and that's how we were able to get the colors, and that's how we were able to get all these fine details on top of the experience. So it's a very interesting tool to unlock the memories. did it cause any negative effects? Did it bring you back to any of the negative things?
Some it did. Like, I've found under hypnosis, like for example, like even in the maze game, like you know, how I said I could feel the symbols.
Right.
Well, during my hypnosis, I can really, it felt like I was actually in there. I could feel the symbols and I can feel the metal floor underneath me. It's just like I was actually right back in there. It's like I was reliving it totally. And it's like, wow. So to help keep me from getting traumatized, to like, for example, in the examination room, like if it got too tense for me, she'll say, okay, just pretend like you're looking down at yourself.
Right.
That helped. Like you're just watching. And even that sometimes was hard. Like it was a little intense, but I managed to pull through. But she goes, at least I didn't have to wake you up. But she's good that way. Like when she puts you under, like you're not screaming or crying or anything like that. She really helps you with it. Like she has to. She'll have you wake up so you're not traumatized by it. Because it's just like you're right there. You can feel everything, the temperature. I can remember under hypnosis, I can feel the grays touch me. I can feel their long, bony fingers just poking into my skin. It's creepy, you know. I remember stuff.
It's interesting. I observed another experience here. We kind of did a little bit of a filming for that because I wanted to kind of understand how hypnosis would work. I wanted to see it for myself. And, you know, this individual was unable, he was male, and he was unable to be regressed or go under hypnosis. But his girlfriend that was there at the time was like nodding off. And like she went under hypnosis. She wasn't part of it. She was just listening to Leslie, explain it. I myself was just kind of like almost like I gotta focus here because like it's a very comfortable thing. But even not being the subject, being in the room, hearing the tones, hearing the voice, listening and comprehending it, it's a very powerful way to bring a tool to help. The challenge with regression, though, is when you have these memories, and then you're kind of, what do you do with them, right? So before you wrote the book, what did you do immediately after your regression? How did you feel after that?
Actually, after I had regression, in a way, I felt a little relief because I had someone to talk to. I had someone that seemed to understand what I was going through. And they were believing what I was saying, like understanding. And all that together was just like a relief in a way, like, you know what I mean? Like a certain type of relief to have that. Like when she put me under, they make you feel relaxed. It sounds something like going into sleep. Like I remember when I came out, so it's like I woke up. It's like I literally woke up from sleep. And in a way, it helps you relax, if you know what I mean. Like it helps you to relax. Like for example, like when I first got there, started talking to her, I felt more intense. But when she put me under, like, you know how they have you relax all your body and all your mind.
Yeah,
you have that feeling. But so I was really surprised, and I was really impressed how she done it. Yeah,
it's very interesting. My wife and I constantly listen to hypnosis for sleeping as well, like guided meditation and things like that as well. Well, I wouldn't say hypnosis, but guided meditation. But it fascinates me on how if we were to focus on something that is not the problem, that we automatically then we start to go back to the problem and remember it. There's that trauma response where we're blocking it all out, and we kind of need to be distracted to remember. And the interesting thing about those details is you're explaining things that are not normal.
No.
So with all your experience in this and all the people you've talked to with, Mr. Lovelace and Kramer, you got Leslie in there as well, myself included. What's your explanation for all this? Why is it? What's going on?
It's a good question. Like, people ask me that, and it's like, my mom's being an experiencer, and it's like I ask myself the same question, like, why this is going on. Like Terry Lovelace, he has a lot of things that are similar to mine. His and I experiences, and we talked about ourselves, like why is it going on, and we didn't question if we even were in the same triangle ship. I don't know if you know anything about Terry Lovelace's story. Like, he was in a huge triangle too, and he's seen these vehicles that glided across the floor, like a cart type of thing. I seen very similar, and he had a friend ET2 that was really close to him. And inside the hangar I've been in, it's just very similar to what he seen. And I found that interesting.
Now, do you think that these beings are working on their own or with us, with mankind?
I do believe some government is involved in it. I do believe that they know. They're not, I don't expect this, like right now, this UAP thing and all this stuff. It's just like, they're not saying everything they should be saying. I'm not saying it be negative, but Lou Elizondo and them, they got to say more. I'm sorry. They have to say more.
Well, Lou said enough. He just has to say more of the right stuff.
But it's just like, just some stuff I went through is so horrible, and other things that people went through is just so terrible. It's just,
it's
just not right.
It's challenging because if the government knows it's happening and they're withholding this information, there is pros to that, and there's also cons to that. Being a victim or an experiencer or subject to the harm, we want validation, you want confirmation, you want to know, because you also want to believe that maybe it's something else and not that. Even if you got that explanation that, we're living in a hologram and all this is our imagination and we've been tricking you, that's still an explanation. To give that is very challenging. They would have to surrender control, or they would, have to put other people in place and all these other things. So I can understand why it's hard to get blood from that stone. But at the same time, giving credence to the possibility that this might just be something else that the government knows nothing about, that can't control as well. So the government may be aware of it and trying to stop it, but is unable to. And you don't want to also come out to your people and say, there's a problem and we can't fix it, because that causes issues too.
No.
And so it's challenging. So something is happening. There is some parallel dimension, perhaps, maybe some interconnected mediumship between things that we know is possible. Some people have the ability to get there, some people do not, but we don't know enough in order to confirm. So do you need the government to tell you that it's real to continue?
It'd be nice to say more just for everybody else, but personally, me being an experiencer and talk of other, I like you. I mean, I talk to many wonderful people, and do I really? No, I'm an experiencer. They don't have to say anything for me, but there's a lot of The world should know really what's going on.
But
I
what if the government doesn't actually know, and the government does know and can't do anything about it? How do we live with this?
Well, maybe if we all work together, maybe, if you know what I'm saying, we can help one another through.
Yeah, it's all about how we feel about it.
Yeah.
I look at it this way: if it's real or not real, it's subjective to change based on belief and personality and understanding and all these other things. But if it's affecting you in a negative way, then help, do these, there's protocols to take in place to feel better about it, and then help others feel better about it. And if you feel better about it together, then you'll learn from each other.
Yes.
There's a lot of hate and there's a lot of anger out there. There's a lot of things for many different reasons that we can't even figure out, the answers to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna. I already know what your answer is, but we're gonna, for our last segment, might as well say it anyways. For the sorry, not sorry. So let me bring this in because I'm kind of tying into this here. What shape is the Earth?
Round.
Yes. See, every time I ask this question on the show, you're always in the comments saying it's round, it's round, it's round, because you've observed it through your experiences. Now, see, that is interesting on its own too, because from what I can see with my eyes, what I can understand, it doesn't make sense that what I'm being told is the truth, but it could still be possible. Not everybody on this show gives the same answers. Round is very seldom in the answers, believe it or not. But then it's kind of like I can't disprove that the Earth is one shape or the other, but at the same time, I can't disprove whether or not you actually had these experiences. Mm-hmm. Right? I can't take that away from you because what had happened. So the challenge that I'm having is I believe you had these experiences, but I'm not quite sure I believe you that the world is round because of the perspective. It's hard. I mean, it's I know. Did you go all the way around? Did you get a full tour?
It's really cool. Like I said, earlier, I remember, I seen day and night going around that.
All right. Well, tell me about that. Tell me about that experience. How did that happen?
Our side of the world, it was night where I was at, and as you go around, you can see the time. If you know what I mean, you go around, you can see the time change. I go one side, it'll be night, and it get brighter, and you go around further, it'll be day.
Right.
And you go around, the same thing. Yeah.
So all the way down, up and down, or you just left and right?
Went over it and underneath. It was it was quite fascinating. It was beautiful. Our world looks gorgeous. It's beautiful. It really is. And it makes me wish it's something everybody could see. I mean, you can if you're rich, who has all that kind of money. But
So why do you think some people question the shape of the Earth? Why do you think some people think it's not that?
I do respect way people are. Some people do have their opinion. I don't know. I watch Dave when you have on your show. He's a nice guy. I like him. He's a really nice guy. He's intelligent. He does have his own theories. I find him interesting, I'll admit, but in my experience, I've seen it and it's not flat. It's not flat. In my experience, that's what I've seen. That's what I know. So
I can't argue. I have no way. I have no way, no way to say yay or nay.
Like, I'm not negative toward any people. Have their, I don't know why, like, it's just the way people are. But I met this woman, she does not believe man went to the moon, and she did her damnedest to change my mind. I said, look, I believe man going to the moon. You know, if you don't, that's fine, but people just have their ideas. I don't know why.
And that's the thing is even we should know the shape of the earth scientifically. The government should be able to provide us information that we all can agree upon, and there is a lot of us that don't actually accept that, and that doesn't mean that the government isn't telling the truth. That has to do with us and our trust and the issues that we have, trust issues that we have with our government. It has nothing to do with their ability to tell the truth or not. If we don't trust them, then we don't trust that, and that's what the conspiratorial mind comes in. Mm-hmm. So if they're able to tell us that the earth is round and that's the truth, mm-hmm. Recently with the disclosure hearings that they had, they said that these UFOs and UAPs were drones and bokeh, which is light refraction, which means there are no UFOs, there are no aliens. Mm-hmm. Is that the truth, or is that a lie? And how do we know if the truth about the shape of the earth is the truth with NASA? Because NASA also, is now investigating UFOs. So like, how do we trust that? And we have to trust you as a testimony. I can't take you up to space to be like, hey, prove it, show me, take a picture, so we're having a conversation with, and we sometimes we trust those opinions. But how do we know?
No, like if you don't see it, if you don't have that knowledge on your own, unless you see it, mm-hmm. That's the thing.
Does the shape of the earth matter?
Not really.
Doesn't change anything.
No, like I just, after seeing it, you realize how fragile Earth is. It just makes me wish people were looking after Earth a lot more better, but that's one change we can have. But no, it's something to see. It's like you watch NASA and all that, until you're there, experience yourself, you just don't know the feeling of it. It's
so does what you see look anything like the images that NASA provides?
From space, yes.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Picture perfect, not photoshopped. It's real.
Beautiful.
Okay.
It looks more beautiful in real life. Just like, for example, one time went to Germany, and I always seen these beautiful pictures of castles inside and outside. It wasn't until I actually went to Germany with my husband, he took me to these beautiful castles. And until you're really there seeing it, you don't really have to feel it. It's just like Earth. It's just in such an awe. It's beautiful.
No, I agree. And that's why I can't talk you out of it, because you've seen something that I haven't seen, and it's just theory to me. And then now it all comes down to trust, and it comes down to belief. And there's a lot of people out there that will fight their argument. And unless you can see it, unless you have the proof, there should